Thanks for joining us. First today on True Crime News. She became one of the most famous prosecutors in American history during O.J. Simpson's trial of the century. But after Simpson was acquitted, Marcia Clark resigned from the LADA's office and became a New York Times best-selling author. Now, Marcia is tackling another headline-grabbing true crime case that asks, was a woman wrongfully sent to death row? Marcia Clark, 3 decades after O.J.'s trial and just months after Simpson's death.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder.
3 decades later, opening up with true crime news about the high-profile case, saying lingering anger in the black community came into play in O.J. Simpson's acquittal.
In the Simpson case, there is no question that the atmosphere in Los Angeles in particular was fraught. I mean, literally the city was burning a year and a half prior to that because of the acquittal of the police officers who beat Rodney King.
It was a turbulent time.
White people, excuse me, but that's the way I feel about this here situation, trying to set the brother up.
The sensational Simpson trial was just 3 years after 4 white LAPD cops were acquitted in the videotaped beating of Rodney King. The tension was noticeable.
One of the jurors wound up saying that it was payback time for that verdict.
Now with social media and true crime docs and series like Netflix's The Menendez Brothers, Marcia says cases involving social issues get even more attention and ignite feedback.
It was like an incredible soap opera.
After the series debuted in October, a wave of interest online spurred new calls for brothers Lyle and Eric Menendez, who were sentenced to life in prison in 1994, the same year as the O.J. murders, to be resentenced and set free. Do you find it interesting, though, how times have changed, especially if you look at the O.J. Simpson case, where now it's like a tidal wave of social media that can really change the course of things and the conversation about these cases? How do you think that would have affected O.J. Simpson?
I don't know. Social media is not a predictable thing, but I do think this. I think every high-profile case that brings up issues that are compelling will be impacted by the feelings of society at that time.
That includes the sex trafficking and racketeering case of Sean Diddy Combs, a case she says will be nerve-wracking for prosecutors.
High-profile case definitely does put a great deal of pressure on the prosecutor because the whole world is watching. You know, prosecutors are expected to win, and you have the expectation of not only the public, but more importantly, the victims and the family, all the survivors. There's a great deal of pressure.
But Marcia Clark has handled it all so well, and now she's zeroing in on another historic grisly case.
As I looked at it, I realized, oh my God, this is kind of their trial of the century back in 1953. And the woman in the middle of these 2 thugs, there was 3-defendant case, it didn't fit.
Marcia is dissecting a sensational 1950s crime in her new book, Trial by Ambush, Murder, Injustice, and the Truth About the Case of Barbara Graham. Marcia, can you tell us what the case against Barbara Graham was?
It's a home invasion burglary, but the genesis of it is unusual. So the woman who was living in this home was Mabel Monahan.
Mabel Monahan ended up a murder victim, strangled and bludgeoned to death after robbers entered her Burbank, California home looking for known treasures. Barbara Graham, a part of the brazen theft, ended up facing more than she bargained for.
It came together when Emmett Perkins and Jack Santo drafted Barbara to be the lure because Mabel Monahan was very security conscious. So Barbara was used to go knock on the door and say, you know, my car broke down. If you could just let me use your phone. Mabel, unfortunately, let her in, and the men came in right behind her.
It was unclear who killed Mabel, but Barbara was found guilty by association.
It's called the felony murder rule. And when you participate in a felony in which someone dies, even if it's accidental, you're on the hook for it.
Reporters hungry for a story flocked to interview Barbara and her lawyer. Barbara was convicted and then sent to San Quentin's gas chamber, becoming one of only a handful of women to be put to death in California. And Hollywood turned the story into an Oscar-winning movie, I Want to Live, starring Susan Hayward. But not surprisingly, Marsha's new book dives deep into the legal questions, something she's found herself doing for quite a long time.
The question I pose is, had the case been handled differently, had the jury known all that I discovered, would they have put her to death? My conclusion is no, they would not.
And like the Menendez case, Marsha says knowing what we know now about the alleged abuse the brothers suffered, would they have been sent to prison for life?
If you believe that he genuinely feared for his life, their lives, then they deserve a manslaughter and not a murder conviction, in which case they are eligible for parole immediately.
It was a typical summer evening in the small town of Armada, Michigan, when 14-year-old April Milsap took her dog for a walk on a popular trail. But what happened that night was anything but typical. I went to Armada to investigate April's brutal killing and how she helped solve her own murder.
These are the last words anyone would ever receive from 14-year-old April Milsap. A chilling text to her boyfriend that reads, "I think I almost got kidnapped." It's followed a short time later by a heartbreaking 911 call.
911?
Yeah, I'm fairly certain we just found a body along the mountain bike trail.
I think the last murder in the village of Armada was in 1973.
Armada, Michigan is a small farming community an hour north of Detroit, but a million miles away from Detroit's big city problems and its crime.
I'm police chief of the village of Armada Police Department.
The village of Armada is tiny, just 1 square mile with a little more than 1,700 people. Its police department is as small as the community it protects.
There are only 2 full-time police officers. There are 10 part-time police officers.
You're one of the 2 full-time police officers in Armada, Michigan.
That is true.
It's a safe place to grow up.
Everyone knows each other, no matter where you go. Every corner you turn, there's a friendly face that you recognize.
David Lichtenfeld thought it was a safe place to raise a family.
In talking with people and being in town, everyone has always had a sense of, this is such a safe place, the kind of place where you don't lock your doors. I wonder, did you ever lock your doors?
Before this? Never.
But life in Armada changed the day 14-year-old April Milsap went missing while walking her dog along a popular jogging trail on a July day.
April was like my own child as far as I was concerned.
David Lichtenfeld is April's stepfather.
What's the last time you saw April?
Just before I was going to work, I gave her a little back rub. She's eating a salad, and I told her goodbye, and she said goodbye, and I go to work, and probably 9:30, I get a phone call saying April's missing and police, and Jennifer is just crying.
Jennifer is April's mother.
I didn't want to believe it.
Jennifer Milsap was born with a neurological disorder that affects her speech and balance, but her fear that something is wrong is easy to understand.
You start worrying.
I'm concerned as to where she is.
I told everybody at work, I'm packing my tools, I'm leaving, I'm going home, April's missing.
April isn't responding to her mother's texts.
She's not answering, so after the 3rd or 4th text, I actually called her, and it went straight to voicemail.
The person you are trying to reach is not accepting calls at this time. Please try your call again later.
Jennifer calls April's boyfriend. He's hanging out with his friends, but reveals he got a text from the missing girl.
So around 6:30, she sends a text to her boyfriend that she's in trouble, afraid she almost got kidnapped. But he doesn't get the text until an hour later.
An hour, yeah. About an hour later, yes.
That terrifying text is the last time anyone heard from April. Then a man riding a bicycle on the Macomb Orchard Trail spots Penny, April's dog, loose and frantic. Penny leads the man to April, and he calls 911.
We just found a body along the mountain bike trail.
Is it a male or a female?
Female.
About how old do you think she is?
I didn't get that close.
Okay. Is she on the trail?
No, she's off the trail, touched back in the woods, her clothes are all taken off.
By nightfall, most everyone in this tiny, close-knit community hears the news. April's friend Serena sends a text to everyone in her contact list asking if they are okay.
April's the only one I didn't get a message back from.
Serena is not the only one terrified about what this could mean. When April's mother reaches the crime scene, the news is not good.
They described the clothes that April was wearing. That's the clothes our victim had on.
When I found out, I'm kind of numb.
Is there an anger within you, or is it just pain?
Mostly pain, but yeah, it's anger. So why this happened to me, and I try not to blame God for it, but yeah, why?
Who would savagely attack and kill a 14-year-old girl just walking her dog on a warm summer evening? The FBI and Michigan State Police are called in to help as Armada's tiny police department tries to figure out who killed 14-year-old April Milsap.
Everyone put up ribbons on all the trees and signs in Armada.
Pink ribbons to show support for April's mother, Jennifer Milsap.
She was all I had.
Jennifer cherishes the last school picture taken of April.
I just want people to remember April the way she was.
Police say April was approached by a man on a trail. When he attempted to flirt, she rejected him. But then, April sends a text to her boyfriend that reads, "I think I almost got kidnapped." Police Chief Howard Smith says he knew right away they were looking for a man in his 30s on a motorcycle.
We have witnesses that identify April, put her there with the man on the motorcycle.
The GPS on April's phone provides more clues. Police had one more tool.
There was a fitness app running on April's phone.
April's fitness tracker would provide investigators with a digital trail of terror.
I didn't even know she had that fitness tracker on her phone.
Investigators recreated April's route. She changed direction and started walking home after sending that text.
The last few minutes of April's life were violent. The killer hit her in the head with a motorcycle helmet, and then he dragged her body off the path, ripped off her clothes, and tried to rape her. And then he stomped on her so hard that his sneakers left tread marks on her neck and chest.
April's phone gives cops a step-by-step map of the attack.
For about 15 minutes, there is a scuffle. You can see the phone going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and then the phone leaves the crime scene at a speed of 13 miles an hour. So we know that it's on a motorized vehicle.
When the killer took off with April's backpack and cell phone, he unknowingly left police digital breadcrumbs.
We found the phone the next day.
Police say data extracted from the app indicated her phone was traveling at a high speed after her death before it was eventually dumped. Then the motorcycle was spotted.
One of the officers saw a motorcycle out on Armada Ridge that matched James Van Callis's. So we started looking at him the second day.
The trail leads the FBI to the home of a father and son in nearby Wales Township, James Van Callis Sr. and James Van Callis Jr. The two are arrested on unrelated drug charges.
We did 2 searches out at Van Callis's house.
James Van Callis Sr. is a registered sex offender convicted of having sex with a person under 13, but he's not the one police want. It's his son, James Van Callis Jr., who's arrested for April's murder.
James made a comment at the first search warrant that everything he learned from his father.
James Van Callis Jr. also has a criminal record. In 2005 and 2006, he was charged with breaking and entering and failing to pay child support. Police say Van Callis Jr. had been riding his motorcycle in Armada the day April was killed. James Jr. is charged with a long list of crimes, including first-degree murder for killing April.
All rise for the jury.
At trial, Van Callis insisted he was innocent, and his defense attorney points out there was no DNA evidence at the crime scene or on April's body linking him to the murder.
DNA prints?
Prints, no.
Hair?
No.
Fiber?
No.
So when you showed up on the scene anywhere around the body and in that area, did you see any motorcycle tracks?
No, sir.
Investigators never found the sneakers that made the stomp marks on April's body, but police say Van Callis's girlfriend observes something strange.
She sees him cleaning the helmet and the shoes with hand sanitizer the night of the occurrence.
After a 2.5-week trial, the jury reaches a verdict.
We find the defendant guilty.
As soon as they said guilty on all counts, it was a bit of relief to know that, they got him. We got him.